Hello everyone and welcome to February 2022. It is the season of loving others, loving yourself, and everything else in between. And we've got our beautiful guests that will be helping us to look ahead into what's for this month, what is there to be excited about, and what is there for our guidance. It's a beautiful little journey that we're going to go on. We've got our beautiful guests today, the Lapis Lazuli with the fantastic Menagerie Tarot. Ugh, beautiful, that one. We've got the Aventurine with the Vivid Journey Tarot. We've got the Garnet with the Golden Tarot. We've got the Apatite with the Majestic Earth Tarot. And a beautiful raw citrine piece with the Angelic Tarot. It is a beautiful combination we'll be looking at today. And once you take a deep breath and allow the wonderful energy of this month to come through you, yes, we are in Aquarius season, allowing ourselves to not be as rooted to the ground and letting our energies roam free with what we feel and what we're being led to. So take that deep breath, allow yourself to be in the moment. All good? Now, close your eyes. See how your chest and your heart beats within it. Which one is telling you to pick? That is the right choice for you. And so, into this month of love, let us proceed, and I'll see you there. So we have found ourselves with the Lapis Lazuli today. It is the crystal, the stone for knowledge, not only within yourself and having the confidence to wield such knowledge, but also the knowledge to connect with the divine and what is beyond you. So knowing that it is not just up to you and you don't know all yourself, you're relying in something that is above. And that is the Lapis Lazuli's power. The ancient Egyptians loved Lapis Lazuli. It was the stone that they used not only for their beautiful aesthetics, but to connect with the gods. It's a beautiful throat and sometimes third eye chakra stone. Knowledge and communication. Let's pop this here. And we've got the fantastic Menagerie Tarot. And it's so lovely because the fantastic Menagerie Tarot is a special indie deck from Baba Rock. I think I'm saying that right. And it doesn't feature people. It features animals. And really, I think it reflects the animalistic tendencies within us. So I'm actually fine with that. I'm very, very happy with that conclusion. So let's see what we're going forward from here. Let's see what's in here. I'm actually going to pop that there for a second. Beautiful. Let's see what's in here. Second and third. So let's see what is in here. Beautiful. Let's have a look and see what we're dealing with. And we've got the 6 of coins. Wow. So we are straight on the exchange of energy. So what is ahead for you, Lapis Lazuli, in this month? And it's understanding that you're giving as well as you are receiving. Examine your relationships this month. What are the dynamics at play? Are you giving too much or receiving too much? And look at it. Look at that beautiful detail in which she's opening up her little apron to receive. And if you think about it, when you're interacting with somebody, whether it's in for love, for a relationship, looking at this whole dynamic from their position, are they giving enough within their capability? And are you giving or receiving enough for your capability? Think about it, because this person obviously is, taller, they're more capable, they seem older, and they can give a lot more. Are they giving enough to this person who is obviously in a different position? So think about those relationships and dynamics. And the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. It's such a whimsical picture this Knight of Swords paints. And with the Knight of Swords is knowing when to draw your sword and when not to. Understanding when there is something that needs to be looked at deep within you, and knowing that communication comes in its right time. Don't just say something because you feel you have to. Silences can be great. knowing when to observe and when to verbally be more assertive. So you're balancing that, perhaps looking at this kind of relationship. Maybe you're the one who's been saying a lot more or being more communicative recently, and you need to pull back and see what they can say. Or maybe they prefer you speaking. And you know what? If they prefer you being more verbally assertive in the relationship, they will tell you. They'll say, I enjoy hearing from you. I love to hear from you. And so they'll let you know exactly what they want to see from you. So regardless, observing is a winner. Observing is the right way to go. And looking at it, see the observing Page of Wands. It's very interesting because you would look at the Page of Wands and automatically assume that with the Page of Wands, this is a fire card that is going to be all about action and moving forward and movement and speed, because that's what you would assign. That's what you expect for fire. Okay, but look, he's actually being very still. I almost feel like this gives a more watery energy to me. And he's observing and holding back before asserting anything, waiting for signs and waiting for the universe to give you something that is meant to be for you, and waiting for that sign to get that I would say the green light to move towards something. So it's a beautiful combination. Looking at it, examine the balance and the dynamics in the current relationships that you have, whether you're dating someone new, whether you're already in an established relationship. Who is directing the energy? If you can sit there in the middle of the room, and see if the energy was, for some people it is, but if the energy was a colorful red smoke or a red mist, who is it moving towards and who is it moving back from? So really, and coming from that context of that position of that person, should that much be coming from them, or is it not enough? So have a think about that. And our partner today is the Gods and Titans. I thought maybe I'd pull that little bit of surprise. Got the Gods and Titans deck to accompany us. And the reason why I chose it, not necessarily for the first, that was more of an intuitive thing, but I included it in this month's reading because it features masculine energy. And everything needs masculine energy. Everything needs feminine energy, right? And so by including the Gods and Titans deck, we get to understand the masculine side of any type of relationship. And we all have that energy within us, you know, different levels, different people, different folks. So let's see what is going on with the Gods and Titans and what they have to say in terms of all of this. Let's have a look. Got the Ganesha. Oh, the obstacles. Actually, I might move this a little bit higher now. Voila. So that we have space. Voila. Ganesha. Actually, that's a god of luck, I think. Yes. So Ganesha is about overcoming obstacles and having the fortune to do so as well. Then we've got Dionysus Ecstasy. Well, that's all I can say. Well, and looking at it, we've also got Mithras Sacrifice. Now, do you see where that balance comes into order? And look, let's put the beautiful Lapis Lazuli there just to complement our beautiful... I think that's good. If they're right next to each other, then you can see that is a lapis selection. So looking at it, even the gods and the masculine gods have something to say about this, because look, at Dionysus is in a relaxed mood. Maybe if you're too busy looking and analyzing and trying to figure out what the next move is, you should be actually sitting back instead of looking at the next move and just enjoying. That is the Dionysus energy, because you have that Ganesha type of situation in which you see everything as an obstacle. Everything is something to be done about. May I say this again for the earth signs at the back? Everything has to be worked out in some way. Everything has to be analyzed or scrutinized or put a band-aid on if it's perceived to be an injury when it's not. And so let's move from the obstacle, this is an obstacle, this is a challenge mindset, to let's just be in the moment. Let's see what can be enjoyed here, because maybe you might actually learn more. You might find out more by being in that space, by being that receptive, or at least just being with the flow. You might actually get more out of it than not. So think about it that way. With Mithras and the sacrifice here, think about what are you defending from? Because if you've got that obstacle, fix things, everything is a problem, so we must dissect it and fix it mindset, what are you afraid of? Maybe that's something that you should confront yourself. Maybe there is something within yourself you have to address first. And I'm sure there's other things to be worried about for other people. There's so many things to be worried about, especially even if you're already in a relationship, if you're meeting someone new, if you're trying something new for this month. This applies to all the relationships you have for this month, and understanding that. What are you so afraid of? And have you done everything that you can to make sure that even if you have those fears, because having fears is a human thing, is it a healthy level? Ask yourself that. Is it at a healthy level that it's being manageable, and that, or is it starting to make life a battlefield instead of this? Instead of relaxing, instead of watching, instead of having a healthy exchange, it's become a battlefield. Some people will say love is a battlefield. A lie. Love should never be a battlefield. Well, that resonated, didn't it? So wonderful. Actually, Lapis Lazuli was my first choice as well. Very interesting. And if you think about it yourself, the Lapis Lazuli is about learning and intuitiveness. So maybe this is why the message is for you. You keep looking for something to learn, to fix, to solve. And that's not always the case. And there you go, Lapis Lazuli. Examine the dynamics of your relationships this month. Handle your personal fears, the ones that you should be responsible for. And shift from battle to enjoyment. And I'll see you coming in the next month. Thanks so much for joining me today, Lapis Lazuli. Wishing you all the best. Mwah! All the loveliest times this February 2022. Hello, my beautiful Aventurines. You've picked one of the ultimate heart and abundance stones, Aventurine. Such a gorgeous stone. It's a classic. I think everyone kind of gravitates towards it. And before you even think it, what I'm wearing is not, it's not an amethyst. I mean, it's not an aventurine. I'm wearing an emerald. So still a slightly different stone, but still for the heart chakra nonetheless. It is a great abundance stone to multiply and encourage anything that you're wanting to manifest that is beautiful and healthy within you, while also opening your heart space for wonderful things to come in. So it lets things just multiply. And that is the Aventurine, the heart chakra energy that is in. It is a good old-fashioned one for me. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And here you are, taking your rightful place. Voila. And today we have the Vivid Journey Tarot. It is aptly named because it is very vivid. This deck is a beautiful, colorful representation of the tarot. And it's not actually that far off the Rider-Waite. It does it justice, but takes it to a whole new artistic level. So let's have a look and see. Oh, I got a bit of a peek there. Let's shuffle that again. Voila. Let's see what's here. Not even looking at this point. I'm just trying to see. Ah! Knight of Cups. Hello. Hello. Eight of Cups. Ooh. We've got a sequence happening here. And then we've got the Devil. I got a peek of you earlier. So you really did want to come out. Ah, yeah. Okay, let's pop everything in here again. So we have that beautifully set. Look at this. Look at this combination. That is a powerful one. Ooh. Now, here's my question for you, Aventurine. Are you enjoying the moment as you should? Because I'm seeing someone is falling into patterns. And this is patterns created from pain. In fact, have a look around you right now, Aventurine. You picked the Aventurine, obviously. You are surrounded by a lot of things going well. A lot of the things that you're feeling are simply within you. And I think there are still some unhealed wounds from the past that are sitting there and tormenting you when you don't deserve to be tormented like this. See, all of these cups are stacked. And they are stacks of emotional pain that you've been through. In fact, this is the reality. There's actually a lot of things that are lining up right now. It may not look perfect, may not be exactly identical or as exactly as you envisioned it to be, but look at that. It's still set in its rows, and it's serving you, and it's doing well for you, and it's bringing you what you love, right? It is bringing you ideally something that is for the good, but you're not seeing it. You're not even looking at it. You're looking in the past. You're looking everything through the frame of the past. And so that has kept you bound. So really, are you a victim to your own demons that wish to put you through that past torment again and again? Really have a think about that, because if you are, then you're letting something in the present go. Every time you waste time dwelling on something that don't need to be dwell on, if I had to put the colloquial side to it, you are missing out on enjoying what's in front of you. Alright, so what do we do now? There's the key question. This is what happens when your reader is a Capricorn. What do we do now? It's a question I always ask. Unless you don't want me to ask it, obviously. Then you have to let me know. You have to heal. You have to do something to heal these wounds. So I'm talking, this is not just in friendships, because this is February. We're focusing a little bit more on relationships. So not only dating, but friendships. Where are you spotting the past where it doesn't belong? Where is it that it doesn't belong? So you really have to ask yourself this question and really have a think about, where are you placing your priorities for your joy? And what can you do to heal? Is it maybe you need to do a bit of a cleanse, a bit of cord cutting, separating yourself from your fears, acknowledging they're there, but not letting them control you, trusting that you'll have the right signs to move forward instead of just being led purely by fear. What can you do to heal? Maybe go for healing. Maybe go for healing. Or maybe do a personal cleanse for yourself, whether it is, self-healing, or, like I said, cutting the cords, or writing something, burning it, cleansing yourself in some way. Cleanse yourself. Your energy needs it, honey. I'm telling you now. So please listen. Listen to the pain. People can take pain, but they're not meant to sit with it all the time. It's not how it works. You're meant to help yourself too. All right, let's see. Today we've got the beautiful partner deck. It is the Traveler's Oracle. It is the I think it is it's a very fantasy inspired oracle. I think it is a sacred traveler. Yes, that's a better way to put it. I will put the correct sign here, but I do remember that. So let's see what is in store. Let's shuffle it a little bit more. What is this? Beautiful. Okay. Let's see what's coming up here. What are the motifs for this month? We've got the Chop Wood. Oh, I haven't seen that card in a while. Got the Message in a Bottle. That's really starting to make sense. Hold on. Go the distance. And the first card that really jumped at me, even though I picked all these cards, the first thing that really jumped to me is go the distance, because it is letting you take the risk, letting you move forward from the past. Like, you have to at some point. I know it's upside down, and I will remember that it is upside down, which means that you're struggling to do that a little bit more than usual. So it really has an emphasis for you to move on, move to the next chapter, because you're really, really stuck. And this is you. That's a Chop Wood. You're so immovable. And you have your reasons to be. You're here for that reason. Understand that completely. It is not my place to tell somebody, to demand any one of you to do something that you're not comfortable with. Not completely anyway. I'm a bit cheeky there. But you have to understand that wood is sturdy. Wood is strong. But it can stand on its own. A wood that, a tree that doesn't have leaves or doesn't have water, as strong as it is, it will eventually crumble. So you must water yourself. You must allow other parts to grow. Allow yourself to move. Because, the Message in a Bottle, that is also a very poignant thing. Because it's a reassurance that someone will one day understand you. You don't have to hide it all. That's middle message. Someone will hear you. Eventually someone will hear and understand what you're on about. So be confident and be kind to yourself about it. Allow yourself to move from the past towards the present and even towards the future. Giving yourself some flexibility. Nourishing yourself with that water and not letting yourself become dry and brittle. Because as strong and dry and brittle as you are not stone. Stone is not alive. Wood is alive. People are alive. And so, We are beings that are organic. So you can try to be as hard as you want, but you will eventually crumble away if you are not nourished and if you do not move and grow. So you must also for yourself. And don't worry, one day that will be open. See, look, it will kind of be open already. Maybe somebody's already wanting to get in there. Somebody is wanting to get to know you, want to see the deeper you, but it's so stuck. And glass is not organic. It is not. It is not a naturally occurring mineral, right? Mineral, maybe not the right word, but you know what I mean. But you have to be true to yourself and your essence. And what is the human essence? Is that you grow and you move. And you know how to rock and shift with the times and to forgive yourself and to heal yourself. So do yourself that favor this month, Aventurines. Because see that green? See that heart chakra? That is the potential for growth and connection with others. You are not a solo being. You can connect and not be trapped if you know when to move. But to move, you must start with a little healing. That is your beautiful message for February, Aventurine. Wow, I'm really feeling these messages today. They flow at a different level today. Aventurine wasn't one I personally chose when I came through it, but I'm feeling it even more. So I really feel like these messages are flowing in very strongly. It's must be really connected. We are coming up to a new moon soon, so it could be that as well. So, wishing you the best for this month, Aquarius and Aventurine. Hoping you all have a lovely time and wishing you the best with all your healing and moving forward. You can do it! Hello, hello, fellow Garnets. And I say this because I am the Capricorn, and thus I'm a January Capricorn, to be extra clear. And so Garnet is my birth sign. Look how deep that red is. It is blood. It is even deeper than blood. I love it. That is my aesthetic. That is my favorite color. Deep maroon. And so I've always loved my birthstone. When I was young, I think I kind of wished it was ruby, a little bit brighter, but as I got older, I thought, no, garnet, yes, dark, mysterious. And so the garnet is a beautiful heart chakra stone that allows you to light your inner fire, to drive you with passion. It doesn't have to be fast passion or something that blows you away, but it is steady and driven passion towards what you love and what you really care about. That is the beautiful garnet energy right there. And it's so brave. That's one thing I can say about the garnet. It is a very brave stone. It is about boosting your inner vitality, your inner drive for what drives you for life. And we go towards that. And also, it increases that kind of focus to the things that you want so that any surrounding chaos doesn't affect you as much. Is what it's trying to say. That is the garnet. Beautiful. And so, we have the Golden Tarot with that garnet. A medieval inspired deck that has such a beautiful golden trim. Am I right? Look at that shine. Hello. This is such a strong cardstock. And the historian in me literally reveled. Oh, hello. It reveled in this kind of imagery. So this is, I think, the second deck that I ever got. And I fell in love with it the moment I saw it. And I had to have it. So it's a beautiful deck. Wonderful. Amazing. Ha! The Three of Wands. I almost said Four of Wands, but the Three of Wands. Queen of Swords. You know what? That can get with it. The Judgment. Look, I'm not necessarily somebody that gets cowed by the Judgment card. That's not something that I'm more concerned about. It's that because it's next to Queen of Swords. And let me be frank. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's one thing I'm seeing here. The Judgment card and the direction the Queen of Swords is facing towards, she's looking at herself. She is judging herself in it lacks love and it lacks acceptance. It is so cold and methodical. Look at that sharp sword. It doesn't care anything else but the point. So it stays with that point. So looking at your relationships for this month in February, my dears, broaden your horizons and look at yourself beyond yourself. Look at how you can connect to the outer world, because this has been a journey that's been way too solo for a long time. And I think, there is one thing as personal improvement. I understand taking responsibilities for things that you can improve on. That is a very important thing. In fact, that is a huge part, in my opinion, of what tarot is about. It's allowing you to see yourself for who you really are, and to see where you are, where your strengths and weaknesses are, and working along with it and empowering yourself to be better going forward. That's what it's for, and I'll always say that. But sometimes you must also look beyond the self and understand where you sit in the world, and that you don't have complete dominion over the world. And in that sense, sometimes you have to set, this was the answer. This is the situation, and this is kind of the answer here, which is set broader horizons for yourself. Is there a goal or something that you have wanted or expected from yourself? Can you stretch that a little bit? Can you play around with it and give it some breathing room? Because you are putting yourself in a box. And that Queen of Swords is such a it's self-critiquing, but it's not very forgiving either. So can you do that for yourself for this month, Garnets? Because, you know, when you are driven, you are so focused. Again, it always matches the crystal that it works with. The message always matches. If you've already been so narrow and you've been eyes on the prize, and it's great. If you're a hunter, you're a hunter-gatherer in 10,000 BC who needs to eat and get that boar or deer or whatever prehistoric animal you're gonna hunt to eat for dinner. Beautiful, wonderful. You keep doing that, love. You keep going. But this is not prehistoric times, hunting for sheep, deer, and whatever it is. And I feel like, you know, maybe fire signs and earth signs can relate more to this. You need to broaden your horizons and give yourself some breathing room to just be, see, again, you're missing the beauty and the freedom. You're restricting your own freedom by only having your eyes on the prize, and then you punish yourself for not getting the prize. So it becomes a cycle of expectation, not quite meeting the expectation, or, you know, maybe things just get in the way, because sometimes that's just how it happens. That is the life force. That is how the universe also, it works in its own timing. But then something kind of disrupts or doesn't fall through the pan perfectly, and then you punish yourself, and then you start again. So it becomes, see the cycle? It draws a circle, but the circle is a cage. So think about it. There's a 3 of Wands in this. 1, 2, 3. What are 3 things that you can be kinder to yourself about, and that you can have some more flexibility over? Now let's have a look at our beautiful companion. Voila, surprise! It is the Oracle of the Hidden Realms. I would say Hidden Realms. Let's have a look and see what it brings to us, and what are the guiding figures here for the Hidden Realms. What a message. Wow, I feel like these messages this month are so poignant. They're so poignant. Is it a February thing? Is it maybe I'm going with the flow a lot more because it's Aquarius season? I don't know. But who knows? We've got the Web Weaver. Oh, okay, you know what? I have something to say about this, but I'm gonna wait. I have to get to 2 other cards. People who've read with me would definitely understand. Oh, Colleen, she's always reacting to the cards and she's saying something already, but I have to, you know, I always pick 3. I let people pick 3 when we read. You would know if you're reading with me. And of course, that just becomes my theme. So then when even the first card that I pick already has a message, I have to wait. And they always look at me and go, oh, there you go, Colleen's already got something. Don't be nervous. I just have a very strong connection with the cards, so it just comes in so quickly. I don't mean to, but it does. So let's have a look. We've got the Web Weaver, and it's so interesting. Just remember, this was in reverse earlier, that you've got that corners there, the Web Weaver. It's because you're trying to weave your own fate too much. That's why it's in reverse. It's a bit too much. It's overkill, and thus you sabotage yourself. You actually end up taking from yourself. So this month, give to yourself, my dear. Give to yourself. You give to yourself by letting yourself have freedom, by letting yourself have flexibility, and then you'll be more set than you were before. And this is the thing, the idea of having full control over everything that's going to happen to you and what's around you, and that you can fully control yourself. And if you can do that, you will be perfect. You'll have the perfect life. It is not real. It's a bit of an illusion. It's a facade. So just remember that when you go through this whole mindset of freeing and adding space for yourself, you are doing yourself a favor. you are doing yourself a service. So please think about it that way and be kind to yourself in that meantime. So remember that as much as this is all within you, this is not reflecting other people. You can also think of it as, how do I connect with the wider world? If you're not focusing on myself, I can hear it now, those is questions. If I'm not focusing on myself, then what am I focusing on? Aside from just adding some space and flexibility here, how do you connect with the wider world? Stop looking at yourself as a single person, that you're the wolf and you're by yourself. What do you have in common with those around you? And can you share that this month? Because that is what strengthens your relationship. Your only relationship can't be with just yourself. You must allow people in. Even if it's just to a certain extent. Even if it's just in certain areas. You must. So that you feel connected and that you feel somewhat secure in all of that. It's the least you can do for yourself. So be kind to yourself and allow yourself that time. Allow yourself that flexibility. And that is your beautiful Garnet message, everybody. I hope this allows you to have the key to be kinder to yourself, to let yourself have that allowance, to have that freedom, that breathing space. And so in that space, that can be filled with kindness and understanding towards yourself, so that you can further connect and have those beautiful relationships that you really love and treasure. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next month. Hello, Apatite. You've picked the tiniest yet mightiest stone there is here. Okay, I'm not taking sides or biases here, but still the Apatite is such a beautiful stone. It is a stone of self-expression, truth, and personal bravery. Don't those sound wonderful when you put it all together? And it is a throat chakra stone. It's for you to not just build that inner courage and truth, establishing that truth, but expressing it to the outside world as well. That is the beauty of it. And look at that kind of blue. You don't see that very often. Lapis Lazuli has a different type of blue. It's a deeper blue, but this is like almost like a playful kind of pop kind of blue, if I could describe it in that way. So it's beautiful, that Apatite. So what is the personal truth that you need to express or bring out into the world today? And thus you shall, with the Majestic Earth Tarot. Such a gorgeous deck. Again, can you tell I have a weakness for decks that have gold trim? Yeah, I do. So let's have a look at the Majestic Earth Tower. Or sometimes it's just called the Earth Tower. Let's see what we've got. Voila! 9 of Wands. So the trees are the wands in this deck. Got the Steward of Water. Oh, the Steward of Water. And the World in Reverse. Now the Steward of Water is a little bit interchangeable. It is also, it is the Knight. Sorry, not the Knight, sorry. The King and the Page are a little bit interchangeable here because it is the Steward. But it is more of a King of Cups energy, the way that I see it. So I've got the King of Cups in reverse. And then you've also got the World in reverse as well. And that one's a bit straightforward, isn't it? Let's pop that here. So, looking at it, wow, you guys are nervous. What's going on? Everything seems to be a little bit here, there, and everywhere. And I'm seeing that it's really hard to get in with the flow. Yeah. You know, when things are chaotic, you kind of are afraid to go with the flow because you're afraid that you'll get swept away with that too. And here is the thing for you, Apatites. Find something to hold on to. In all of this, see, that's a nine of wands there. All that anxiety building, and you know, that's wands. That's still fire. That still flows in its own way. And there's all that water in the world here. You're sort of just being stranded right there in the middle. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little person there, and they're a little bit they're sort of just lost. They're nearly at the edge towards the land, but not quite. So they're not quite sure what to do. Do I just go with it? Do I not? And the answer to that is stay where you are, but ground yourself. You cannot fully fight against it, you know, as things are sort of moving in the air. You're not quite sure what's clear yet and what's going to be presented before you. And that's fine. I think some things are just working out in their time to be beneficial to you, but it's hard to see that right now, and I understand that. So towards this month in February, hold still, but have something to hold on to. Yes, that is what we're looking at here. And that is allowing yourself to be helped by a force that is much larger than yourself. So is that grounding your personal belief? Is it a spiritual guide or companion that's there for you, that supports you? Do you work with certain elements? And if you do, how can they help you? Have you actually reached out? Or are you trying to do it all by yourself? And now, it's fine. I'll go to the left. I'll go right. I'll see what I can do. It's not working. Are you standing alone? Because I see that. There seems to be a sense of, look at, there's like a little person there. There's a sense of aloneness in a vast world of chaos here. And in a sense, you must invite something to come and help you. And I don't mean necessarily another person, but something within yourself, whether it is your beliefs and values that need to be reinforced now, or perhaps it's something that is a little bit beyond you and it is something that is more spiritual in nature. Then reach out for it. So let's see what the cards say about it. We've got the Sacred Traveler. This is the Sacred Traveler Oracle. It's so beautiful. It is gorgeous. And it always has such loving but direct messages. And I like that. So let's see what it says for us here today. The transform. Here we go. So this is a big moment, I see. And see that? The water. Person in the water, right in the middle of the water. That's a direct parallel. You got savor your life. Okay. So perhaps what grounds you is the enjoyment that you can get in the present. And with that mystic healer, what will ground you? The things that you can enjoy right now. And that is what also will heal you eventually, because you are going through a massive change. This is why perhaps the person that you are in the relationships you have, both friendships, emerging relationships, already established relationships, the person that you are there now, that is growing and changing into a new version of you. And it is rough, especially when you've got a lot of things that are mixed in between. And that's kind of part of the process, I suppose. But hold on to your beliefs and hold on to what you can enjoy, the little things in life. The coffee you sip in the morning, or maybe if you're not a coffee person, it's the tea. Or some kind, what are the physical things, even down to the physical and pleasurable things that, even though they are material things, they bring so much to you in meaning. What are those things? What do they bring, and how can they bring that into your life? Don't just take them for granted. Enjoy them and savor them, because that is what's going to get you through. That is what's going to heal you. And that in itself is what is going to be the key to keeping you sane at this time. I'm not saying that it's going to be, so horrible and whatnot, but it is just chaotic. And to be comfortable with the chaos is a difficult skill to pick up. It's something that the tarot teaches again and again. So you must be kind with yourself and understand that in all of this, you can heal and look after yourself. You can be there for yourself. But remember also that within this, let's just say within this part of this change, this transforming change, that the best you can have is guidance from above, while also grounding yourself. So have you noticed that none of this involves ego? None of this involves just self-determination. It just involves a bit of awareness and a little bit of trust, and trusting that things will come to you in the right time, trusting that there's something there that will help you, that will come to you. Try it, sit there, ask for someone to come in and help, and you'll get a bit of guidance. Pull your cards out. If you read like me, pull them out and see what comes out for you, because there will be something for you. So do not worry about that. So in this chaos, stay strong, hold true to yourself. Allow the changes to come through, but hold to your earthly passions that can be savored and appreciated, while also connecting with above, with what can support you. So all the best for you, Apatite, this month. You are worth it. Hi there, Citrines. Hello, hello. We are up to our Citrine group, and such a bright crystal citrine. It is, like I've said before, the vitamin C of crystals. That's how I see it. It's so beautiful. It is bright. It is all about abundance. It is all about letting things in your life that are meant to help you, to serve you, and letting that grow within you. And that includes love. That includes love in your heart. That includes that motivation and that positive thinking for the future. That is Citrine. It just gives you a whoosh and a zhoosh and a pep, as the oldies would like to call it, pep. Definitely not the toxic kind, but you know. We've got the Citrine here, and we've got the Angelic Tarot. What a beautiful cherubic little tarot. I love it. It's so fluffy. It's so soft. If you're somebody who finds the tarot a little bit daunting to read and it's a little bit too much, use this deck. It is beautiful. It even has little meanings in it. See, look. I'll show you one. Ta-da! So it has little bits of meanings in it too. So if you're a real beginner, it's a beautiful place to start. And so, don't forget, Citrine is beautiful for your solar plexus chakra, letting you be back into focus and feel at your best strength. Almost forgot to say that. So here's the Citrine power for you. It's got so carried away by the tarot cards, you know, it's so beautiful. As beautiful as it is a little bit heavy and a little bit hard to hold and shuffle with these tiny hands of mine. Just letting you know. Oh, look at that. See? Oh, trying to scratch my fingers around it. It's sort of been shuffled before, but we will shuffle some again. So let's see what is in store for you in Citrine. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. I don't know why I didn't flip them over straight away, but let's do that. 1 and 10 of action. The 10 of swords, 3 of emotion, and the 9 of action. See, here in this deck, they've changed it to the direct meaning. So actually, the cups are emotion here, and the 10 of action actually is the 10 of wands. And this is the 9 of wands as well. So looking at it, look at that. I love that combination of purples and pinks. It's so beautiful. And even then, it's all about supporting your personal energy and letting that grow. So we've got the 10 of wands, the 9 of wands, and the 3 of cups. That's really what we have here. And then look at these beautiful images. I should read with these more often. I used these a lot more when I was first starting years ago because I thought this was very helpful. But even if you cut all this off, these images are just beautiful. And I understand, Citrine. You are weary. You are tired. And that's okay. After all that you've been through and after everything that you've put in, you've always been hard at work, especially working in your relationship, since we're doing a little bit of a focus on that this month. And even any relationship with the work that you have, you've put in so much to the point that things are starting to get a little bit out of control. And that's fine. This is your sign to actually step away a little bit from that stress and step away from pushing and pressuring yourself so much into getting the next relationship goal. Whether it's a friendship goal, a social goal, step away from that and just enjoy being with those who support you. There's been people waiting to spend time with you, wanting you to reconnect, have a good conversation, sit down, relax, and see what's going on. You need to reach out to them. Well, you don't need to. I don't like commanding people. But understand that there are people who are just wanting to enjoy the moment with you. And so in that sense, they'll also have lots of beautiful things to share with you, things that are happening in their lives. And because they have these wonderful things to share, so do you. Because of that energy that you're around with when you're with them. So where are your friends? Where are the closest to you? Because they will also encourage you to linger and celebrate what is going great in your life. And just leaving all this stress alone for a little while. Because you're always giving. This is your natural. This is the 9 of wands. You're always giving. You're always putting in, hoping you'll get something back. But it doesn't always come back straight away. Sometimes it's actually best to leave things alone and let them develop, because I think you're overextending yourself a little bit too much here, and so your energy is already running low. So we want to be healthy with your energy and allowing yourself that time and space to be you, to be in the moment, to enjoy as you recover your power. What a beautiful message. And do not worry, and just as a little side there, just because you're stepping away and enjoying everything else, it doesn't mean that your identity is any less, or you're less responsible, or you're less driven. Please don't. You've just been so used to a giving energy that anything different doesn't feel quite right. And that's okay. It is just an adjustment thing. So don't be harsh on yourself. Let's see what's going on here. Got the Greek mythology oracle. Why not? The whole wings theme is sort of going under there. So why not? And I do have two versions of this deck. You may have seen the bigger one and the smaller one. One, I actually trimmed the sides so that it wouldn't have the names, and being a historian and an ancient historian is that I don't need the names to know the titles, and I just felt like it detracted from the picture. So this is the abbreviated version. So let's see what it says today. Voila! Oh, hello Theseus, and there's Medusa. Oh, look at that. We've got the little battle. I think this is Troy and Penelope, Odysseus's loyal wife. And this, actually, I see Penelope as the main theme of this reading. And looking at it, she is patient. You know, she waited for Odysseus for like 10 years. I think 20 years even. It was more than a decade. I think it was 2 decades nearly that she waited for him to be home from the Odyssey. And it is that patience, leaving the chaos behind. And did you know the story around Penelope and how all these suitors basically started picking on her the moment they realized that Odysseus wasn't coming back anytime soon? Yes. And she tricked them. She used her wit. She said, you know, someone can court me as soon as I finish this weaving, and she'd weave every day and then she'd do it at night. Brilliant tactic. But really, it was all in the name of avoiding the chaos, letting the chaos be. They can knock at your door, they can annoy you. See, look at the direction. They're going towards her. They want something from her. They're demanding. This is you and your feeling of responsibility. You feeling like you have to pick up everything and do all the things that people demand of you. And you know what? You have to say no at some point and say, I'm going to do things at my own pace and enjoy things in the meantime. And that is what's going to deepen the relationship with myself, which then in turn will increase my real authentic relationships with the people around me. And look at that, right? Oh, actually, wait, this is not Theseus. This is Heracles, or Hercules as people would know him, because that's the Nemean lion. That's his mane. So that is him defeating the monsters, or some people would even call them the Titans. But this is Heracles overcoming the obstacles. And this is a really poignant message here, because sometimes the way to go is not by pushing more. It's actually by being more choosy, being more discerning, and letting things sit by themselves and sort themselves out, because sometimes that is the best answer. There's a time to be proactive. Yes, I'll chase that. I'll do it. Done. Finished. Remember, this is a month of Aquarius. This is an air month as well, right? Well, it is starting with Aquarius, especially now. But this is not the time to be aggressive and pushing and letting things through. It's also about allowing yourself to be in the right gear. So this is a gear where we're moving away from pursue, attack, get, to let's see how things develop. Let's see what I can do with myself for the moment and stop pushing so much if nothing is happening. If something is happening, great. But if you're feeling worn down and not much is happening, this is your sign to kind of step back and be kind to yourself. So that is your message for this week, Citrine. Save that energy of yours for yourself, because you deserve it. That is February 2022 for everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a lovely little journey looking into all kinds of relationships this coming February, and it is a month for so much personal growth for everybody. And with every crystal that you picked, you could tell, you could see that everybody has something that they're working on. Everything has some kind of connection that they work through to increase the strength in their relationships, and sometimes even just bringing themselves out there, letting themselves be seen so that they can be open to connections. It doesn't mean that necessarily you're already there. It's just making that pathway forward. And I really appreciate everybody who's joined me in this new year, keeping their minds and hearts open for guidance and insight, because that's always the first step. If you can do that, you'll be fine throughout this month. So you have not much to worry about there. Remember the themes that visited: knowing when to let something give you a signal first, taking some time to break cycles where you are punishing yourself, allowing yourself to heal, and also understanding where you may need to sort of take a step back and even allow yourself to plan and have some freedom and flexibility. And you can do it. I know you can, because you're here. You've made that conscious choice already to look beyond yourself. So wishing you all a wonderful February. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Sending you all the love and the wonderful energy that is there to come around. Mind as I try to not hit my elbow on anything. Wishing you the best for this month, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.